We are live. Hey, welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, welcome to the what's this show called? The Vinyl Collection. No, looking through the vinyl shelves. The record show. No, looking through the record shelves. The Vinyl Collection. Here we are. We are a little show where we go through our vinyl collection. We're actually going through them, opening them up. Many of us have like very old used record collection, so it's kind of cool to go back and see what's inside, see if you got all of the accoutrement that came with the album originally. And so we open it up, take the sleeves out, take the records out, look at the vinyl, see what's happening, see what's doing. I started this show just on my own, going through every single piece of vinyl from Z all the way back to A. I'm now into my not put away yet shelf and recent edition shelves and major artist shelves that get their own shelves. So that's going to be interesting. I can tell you if we get to some of my stuff, we might actually get into the Beatles stuff today. We're going to have some new acquisitions. We're finally going to get to those Beach Boys, and I might open the Beatle box at that point. So that's what's going on. If you're just joining us, go ahead and hit the like button. That'll do something big for the show. And if you can do me a personal favor and hit the subscribe button, we have milestones that we have to get to, or they're going to cancel us. They're going to shut us down. So hit the subscribe button so we can keep going. Enough of my rambling. I got guys in the background. Vinyl experts are here. You know them. They're here every week. Let me bring them on. Bring myself small. There we go. Look at these guys.
Accoutrements. I like that word. That's a good word.
Accoutrement?
You don't hear that too often.
Well, it's a big Canadian word. We're always jiving with each other with that. Yeah. That's Matt Bandy in the top right, as he always sits. Welcome aboard, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
And we have Kevin buried on Mars in the bottom. Hopefully his voice can sustain him through the whole show because he's been live for a lot of this day. A little birdie told me he was already live with his own big show.
Yeah, I was. And I was on for an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how that's all day, but sure, it was a part of a day. This show's easy. I just sit back and just watch Matt Bandy. Watch Matt Bandy go full Bandy.
That does make it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry I couldn't join you today. Again, it was a supper time podcast Kevin was doing. So
believe me, you weren't missed. we had tons of people. It was all good.
Beautiful. I am glad.
Supper, is that the preferred nomenclature for you guys? Not dinner?
Yeah. A lot of people here call lunch dinner. Which is okay. Really confusing.
Yeah.
So we just go with lunch and supper because it just makes it simple. Because you throw the dinner in there and no one knows what you're talking about.
Right. Absolutely. So what was I going to say? Sorry, Matt Bandy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk some more about dinner and supper and the differences between them, and it's not really
I think supper is a British thing, right? Like a lot of our nomenclature comes from, us being a British colony for a long time.
Mm-hmm. See, when I grew up, my mom would call it supper, and as I got older, some friends used to make fun of me for calling it supper. My wife makes fun of me for calling it supper every once in a while, so it's kind of interchangeable between dinner and supper. But yeah.
And you guys do supper late, like you guys do at 7 o'clock, right? That's your. Well, you got young kids, so you probably eat earlier.
Yeah, I try to eat. As soon as I get home, I do 95% of the cooking in our house, so. As soon as I get home from work, which is usually around 5 o'clock, I usually start. So usually around 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I was ready to eat my own face at 4:30 today. I was up early, and so I got home at 3, and I started making supper at 3, and it was all ready at 4:30. So we ate before we recorded Fandango today.
Well, normally I'll sneak at my phone, at supper and watch a little Fandango as I eat. But today, I don't know if Kevin, when you were here, you ever had the Pizzeria Italia pizza, but I splurged and went Pizzeria Italia, and man, you don't interrupt that feast. What a feast!
No, what is that? A takeout place?
I'm sure we had it one time. Yeah, I think we had to have had it. It'll cost you, but it was that little place downtown. It's been in Barrie for like 40 years, and it's real bready crust, authentic, baked. And they put the meatballs and the salam and the bacon, and
it sounds like a heartburn.
$40 pizza.
Oof.
After delivery and all that.
That's a pricey pie.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can welcome Mrs. Q Dog. How's it going, Melissa? Joining us in the chat. Appreciate you coming by.
That's somebody who knows some good pizza.
That you can't argue with.
That's right.
Yeah. Again, I was thinking about it again, not to keep going on pizza, but I was thinking about it again, Chicago style pizza, and again questioning why no one is trying that in our region. Like, just why have the same old pizza? Just do that. You would have the corner of the market.
Do you remember when Pizza Hut was trying that? They were trying a deep dish.
They did kind of a pseudo deep dish.
Yeah. They've always done dish pizzas, but not. It's just
pan,
baked in a dish.
Like pan pizza. But they had a deep dish for a while, and I remember liking it when I was a kid. But I liked Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was a kid. So I don't know what I like today.
All right, so we're here to talk about records, believe it or not. So, and as I said before we started, I was kind of in a rush to get to the mic, so I didn't have time to think about anything vinyl adjacent. But I will say, I hope you guys watching this video have checked out my Don't Look Back unboxing video. So that'll be my adjacent pick for today, where I open this puppy up. It is Criterion Edition Blu-ray, and I was surprised by all the good stuff inside. So that's a fun video. Go check that out. Done. Next.
What was your vinyl? Like, you went through your vinyl collection again? You live streamed going through your vinyl collection again or something?
Well, you recall, as when we started this, I had, well, according to you, I had very little sleeves inside each album.
Oh, okay. So you were going through them again and putting
sleeving,
just adding sleeves, but most of them already had sleeves. So I don't know what we were remembering, because I maybe added 5 sleeves for an entire shelf.
5?
Questionable.
Watch the stream. It's right there. So yeah, that was a fun, just sit back and chill out and talk to the camera and add some sleeves. Yeah, that was fun. Thanks for mentioning that, Kevin.
Okay. I was just wondering what it was about.
Not required watching. It was just a chill stream, but if you want to, put something on, go ahead.
Gotcha.
That was adding sleeves, because I did get, that was, oh, you know what? I should have done that. My adjacent thing is on Record Store Day. I did buy more sleeves, inner sleeves.
Good.
Because the record store guy, as I said, he had his whole store on for 20% off Record Store Day. And that's why I treated myself to a couple other records. He also gave me this for is like 25 plus tax. And you said, how about if it's just 25 straight up? And we'll call that the sale. And I said, okay, that's fine. So
how
I got
many are in there?
$25. 50.
Okay.
And that's the Mophie mobile high fidelity or whatever it's called. These are good ones.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I got lots of inner sleeves to fix the situation.
Good.
Although there really wasn't a situation, as I saw when I went through them. Anyways, I digress, and I pass the torch along to my friend Matt Bandy to start us off.
There you go. You already did it better than Chris and Curtis.
Yeah, it took him a second. It's kind of weird. You got to reach the opposite.
Yeah.
I was holding you guys up earlier. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that. Yeah, I tried to. I was like,
yeah, lean back, sir, and enjoy this.
Where's Peter North?
Oh my God.
Okay, so I said I was going to do a theme today on the Twitter. So we'll see if you guys can pick up on what my theme is. I'm sure you'll probably get it pretty quick. But I'll start off with my cassettes for the episode. Let's start off with this one here. This is a band called Manacle. The name of the album is No Fear to Persevere no, I'm sorry. Geez, No Fear to Preserve. And this came out in 2019, I believe. Actually, 2018. It's on a red cassette. And Manacle are a band from Canada. I believe they're from Toronto, but they play like traditional heavy metal, inspired heavily by Iron Maiden. Vocals are definitely different than Bruce Dickinson, but the guitar tone and the sound is very reminiscent of Iron Maiden. And this was out on, I'm trying to think what record label put this out. I'm not sure. This came with I got this through Bandcamp, so I ordered directly from the band. And it came with a pin as well. And it looks like actually this was recorded in 2016 in Toronto at Lincoln County Social Club. And they thank all the headbangers who helped and supported them. So yeah, this is a cool one. Kevin, I think you'd like this, man.
You say they don't sound like Bruce Dickinson, but do they sound like any of the other singers?
No. Paul and who's the other guy? I always forget
Blaze?
the guy that was on for one. I've never actually listened to that record. I've never heard that.
Blaze?
Yeah.
He was on for 2 albums.
There's 2 records?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he was a bad singer. They just were not writing the best tunes at that point. But that first singer, Paul Diano, is that his name?
Paul Diano.
That guy was, I mean, they were almost a different band.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit. Like they sound completely different, and I like they're so different, and I like both of those. It would have been interesting to see what those other records sounded like with him on vocals.
Yeah.
But I know he still like plays music and stuff and does shows. And I assume he probably just does like tunes from Killers and Iron Maiden. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's doing now.
He looks a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little rough around the edges. And when I saw a picture of him, I didn't know it was him until I was like, oh geez, that's that guy. Yeah, no hair, bald, real fat. Yeah,
that's Bruce, a trifecta right there.
Trifecta, yeah. Bruce definitely aged a little bit better. Okay, so next one I'm going to show here is another Canadian band by the name of Emblem. I picked this up a few months ago. This was released, another Bandcamp pickup through Church Records. This is Trevor Church, who I've talked about some of his bands on here before. He is the main singer-songwriter of Haunt and Beastmaker, and this was put out on his record label. I think he just did a cassette release for this. I'm not sure if there was a vinyl release. I think there might have been, but it is out of print. And he put these up on his Bandcamp's site for like $5 shipped. So I picked this up because this is a cool band. What's cool about this too, I also like I'm a sucker for this is a nice kind of baby blue that matches the
cover,
the cover font there. Yeah. So this band, there's no pretty simple liner notes, nothing in here. This is another cool traditional heavy metal band. I'm not sure. I know they're Canadian. I'm assuming they're from the Toronto area. But yeah, this is another cool band to check out. Their stuff's on Bandcamp, and I believe this record is also streaming on Spotify and some of the other streaming services. So this is another cool band to check out. And my last cassette of the day is by a Canadian doom metal band called Smolder. I've showed them on here before, their last 2 records, but this was their first release, and it was a cassette release. It has 3 tracks on it. This sold out pretty quick. I was lucky to get a copy of it. It came with a pin and a patch as well, which are both on one of my jackets. But this release, it did well. They were relatively unknown, or they were completely unknown at the point. Some of the other players were in their Canadian bands, but this did really well, and they were able to use that money to put out a 7-inch of these songs, and that translated into them being able to put out a record and just get their name out there. So this is on Hoof Child, which I believe is a cassette only label. It's on a clear red, and the program it repeats on both sides. So it's only 3 songs. You got a shot of the band here. And I'd say this is a very good in the liner notes. And it looks like this is number 36 out of 150 that were made of this, hand numbered. So this is a good starting point if you've never really listened to doom metal. I talk a lot about doom metal on the show. This is a really good starting point for getting into doom metal. It's female fronted vocals. Sarah's vocals are awesome. She's got a great set of pipes, but it's also very rooted in traditional epic heavy metal. So this is a good starting point for if you're interested in some doom metal. It's got some cool subject matter. A lot of the songs are about fantasy type stuff. Riding in the battle and killing people. So this is a cool band to check out. Another Canadian band. So this was a Canadian band. This was a Canadian band. This was a Canadian band.
So Canadians on cassette, is that your theme?
Canadians, well, maybe. It's all Canadian today.
Right on.
Yeah.
I've neglected. I realized the last couple shows I haven't shown any Canadian bands on the show. I do listen to a lot of Canadian heavy metal. There's a lot of really good Canadian heavy metal, especially in your guys' area. So, I haven't shown any lately. So I'm going all Canada today.
All those guys ate supper too.
They sure did.
Do you have a tape deck that you trust to play those in?
I don't. The only tape deck that I have right now, 8 tape, and luckily it was a what was it? Oh, it was a George Jones greatest hits tape that I threw on just to see if it worked. And I picked it up. It was given from a friend. Unfortunately, the tape deck that I had that I used crapped out, and I just haven't found one that I've liked. And most of these, I buy these and they come with a digital download, and I'll just listen to it that way. And I'm mostly just doing it for, it's $6 and you get the digital download. You'd pay like $3 to get the digital download to begin with. So it's nice to have a physical copy and support the band a little bit. The cassettes are so cheap.
Yeah, you guys get
this is like Canadian price too. It's like $5. Is even less.
So
US, I believe. Yeah,
it's so frustrating because here, if we want to buy it, we got to order it from the States. Like even if they're Canadian bands, they come from the States.
Really? Well, this one shipped from Canada.
Did it?
Yeah.
Like that Freeways band. I tried to I wanted to get some of their things, and it was going to cost like $50 a record.
What? Really?
With the shipping, yeah. Like
it didn't ship from Canada? Where was it coming from? Mine came from Canada.
I don't know. I'm assuming that it didn't come from Canada because it was so expensive. Like it was $24 for the record, and then to ship it was another $25.
What? Yeah. It's a Canadian label too. The Temple of Mystery. Like maybe check out the bands or the record label's website, because it'd be better just to go if their Bandcamp is shipping from a different location or some other person is in charge of the distribution of that record. The record label has to have copies of that, and you got to be able to order directly from the record label, and they're based out of Canada.
So like their latest one, True Bearings, it's $23 Canadian.
This is on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then let's see if I can Oh, yeah, you gotta tell them how much you want. Yeah, it's $23. I want to pay 20. Okay, so yeah, it's then plus $17.45 and tax. So I got to pay tax on top of that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pay sometimes releases I have to pay tax for, and sometimes I don't.
So for the one record, I'm looking at $40.45.
Whoa, dang, that's wild.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure that shipped from Canada when I ordered it, but that would make no sense to.
Oh, and it does say ship to Canada.
Okay, so that's not coming out of Canada then. I wonder where.
There's a ton of Canadian artists that are like that. Like I got that Sloan special edition that came from the States, but that's where they can get the distribution from. That's where the distributors from. There's no one in Canada that's doing it for them. So
try looking up the Temple of Mystery records and see if you can order directly, not on their Bandcamp. Like, see if, because I know Temple of Mystery has their own website, and I know they're out of Canada. So,
all right,
try give that a shot.
See, what my dream was is that they would actually do a live show, and then you just go to the live show and pick up the record there, because that's where I get all my other than that one Sloan album. All the other ones I got were at the show because they charged $20 for the album, no tax or anything.
Yeah,
boom. You know, the only thing is you gotta hold on to this record for a show, but who cares?
Yeah,
I'm saving money. So
yeah.
I almost bought my first Bandcamp purchase there last week or so. There's this artist called Emma Swift, and she did an entire album of Bob covers. And I mean, she nails it. She nails it. She's got this certain sound and tone that, I don't know, it just worked super good. We've heard tons and tons of Bob covers before, but she had her own sound. It just worked so good. I thought, man, maybe the vinyl would be pretty good to have. And I looked that up, and it's like minimum $20. Okay, that's cool. And then you click on it and it goes, oh, you're from Canada. Okay, for you, the minimum is now $28. And then add shipping on top of that. Then you're like, ugh, so, you know, maybe I'll stream it.
Looking at some European heavy metal bands and European labels, like the shipping cost is more than what the record cost is. And I don't do that too often. I ordered a record a few weeks back from Finland, and the shipping cost was about the same as what the record cost. So it was about $20 to ship the record from. But that's it's tough when you're ordering overseas like that. But
well, hey, say hi to Jared in the chat from Retro Revolutions. He's a busy guy, so don't waste too much of his time. He's got lots of stuff to do. He's busy.
Do me some Dire Straits next. You know what? I can do that for him.
Oh, geez.
I could skip ahead a little bit. I'm still in the C's, but I could skip ahead a little and do my Dire Straits if you'd like.
Have we ever shown Dire Straits on the show?
I've shown.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right.
They had sleeves too.
I just have to reorganize here a little bit.
It's Kevin in the Temple of Darkness there. It's like the Dark Lord.
Ooh, I saw a good record flip over there.
Some good stuff here. Okay, yeah, here we go. So here's the first album, Dire Straits.
There you go. I got that one.
Yes. I should probably I think you showed this one already. But we'll take a look inside. Let's see what's happening there. We are on the same page, Jared, with Dire Straits. This is one of my favorite bands. And then you got all your lyrics there. I don't know if Bill has this sweet part.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't believe how old that record is.
1978, 79, 78. You should actually put that in a special sleeve. And then do you have the second album? Communique. I think that's how you say it.
Communique?
I don't know if I've...
No, I don't have that one. They look
I don't think I've ever seen that record.
Now, Mark Knopfler looks a little dopey. Back there, right? It was like as if they were like, okay, let's take a photo, snap. All right, let's go. Like he wasn't even ready. Wasn't ready.
How was that? Good enough. Moving on.
Wasn't even ready. Joe must have snapped that photo of him. I got this one in a separate folder.
Were there any singles off that record?
Nope,
No.
not this one. Once
Yeah,
Upon
that
a
one
Time
I'm-
in the West.
Not familiar with.
Lady Rider's probably the most well-known song. Oh, I got a little fold in there. Guess this is a little crease. This is Bilkin Dish.
Mm-hmm.
Looks better there. The muscle shirt,
Oh yeah.
wife
Oh,
beater.
yeah. Two of them looking off and two of them looking on.
Yeah. That's the way you do it.
He looks like a completely different guy in that picture.
And I do like the label on this one. A nice design on there. If you can see it, maybe not. Doesn't show up too well. But anyways. These are all fairly recent pickups too, except for the first one. On these all at record shows. Making movies. This is like a movie ticket, sort of, I guess. I guess that's what that is. Same on the back and the front. This one, like the smallest friggin' font for the.
Oh, is that the track list there? Oh, jeez.
Like, what? The fine print is bigger than the. I don't know what they were thinking there. Ooh, who are the ad wizards that came up with that one?
Oh, that'd be cool if it pulls out there.
Ew.
What? And that's just your insert there. Your lyrics. A lot of wasted space here.
So they should have made that font bigger. Jesus.
Yeah. Here we go. Love Over Gold.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know that record either. I'm familiar
No.
with the movies, but I don't know this one.
What's on this one? I don't remember. Can't even read. It's too dark in here. Like you can't read that. Look at that.
Are you
Blue
going
on-
chronological or alphabetical here, or just randomly?
No, these are all. I
Chronological?
keep everything chronological.
Yeah.
These are all great. I mean, you put them on a Sunday morning when you're sipping your coffee. You're good. Just sit back and listen to these. They're good times. Telegraph Road, Private Investigations. This one's a very mellow one. And then you got to have the double live Alchemy, which is a very groovy cover, almost psychedelic.
Alchemy?
That's what I said. Alchemy. Here's your insert or your gatefold, whatever.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, they came out with this one just before their big album. Oh yeah, this has the these kind of sleeves in there.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna
fight with that.
No, that's it. That's one of those.
So were they already pretty popular by the time that record came out?
This was
But not
the really.
alive?
This was the big
Yeah.
one. The one that came
Jesus.
next. This sucker.
That was number one for so many weeks.
Huge. It was huge. And yeah, I got a separate one for this one. That is just the pink clouds, the dreamy clouds. And I'm pretty sure mine has the same label as Bill's. That funky, yeah. Steel guitar. Kind of psychedelic thing happening in there.
Mm.
Yeah. But that's everything up until 84. Whenever that came out, 84 or 85. And then everything after that, I think they came out with one more album. They came out with On Every Street, but that was like a early 90s release, so it's super expensive unless you can get a reissue. So that's it. That's my Dire Straits.
You know, I saw Knopfler live. He was on a co-bill with Dylan. That was a good show.
Oh, nice.
And did you know that he actually produced one of Bob's records?
Nope.
So they've had a relationship for quite a while. It's a funny story with that record because Knopfler was there all through the recording process. But then when it came time to mix it, he had to go out on tour.
Oh.
So he kind of abandoned the record to go on tour. And that kind of created a rift for a little while. And it is what it is. Although they did get together again. So Knopfler has always said, what could I do? I had to go out on tour. So the engineer actually sat with Bob and finished mixing it down.
I see Melissa split during my segment. Very good. Thank you, Melissa. But I had Jared's attention, so that's good.
She had to start dinner, not supper.
That's right.
That's right.
She's making lunch. Sammy's. Salami Sammy's.
God, I'm hungry.
I am so thirsty because of that pizza and me working on my car in the evening. I'm dying here. I'll have to call a kid.
There you go, Bill.
I know. Look at the size of that monster.
What? Damn it. Oh.
There.
You got it?
Oh, Jay.
I could pour you some. Why how have we not been doing this for the last 20 shows?
I don't know. We got to come up with something because the records are going to run out soon. It's going to be full bandy for 2 hours, I'm sure, in just a few weeks. Well, as Matt Bandy started the show off showing cassettes and then admitted that he doesn't have a decent player, I went and grabbed something I just picked up that you're going to get a sneak preview of here before it gets to my pickup video. Actually, I have 2 videos coming out on this thing I picked up. Check out this boom box.
Oh, nice.
What make is that?
That is General Electric, GE.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had to clean this up crazily. There was a ton of latex paint on it. You can still see some of the fleck here.
It's kind of cool back there.
I used this new cleaner called Crud Killer, and man, it cleaned up really good. And this thing, it's unadvertised on the front. I don't know what it says here. If you can read that, it says high performance something or another, but there's hair all over it. Inside, the tuner is this, and it's unadvertised. They don't write it anywhere on here, but it's called a Super Radio tuner in there. And it's only like 3 models that GE put out has this super tuner in it. And it makes, like, it can bring in AM really good and make it sound like FM. That's how good it can bring in AM signals. And the radio nuts apparently go crazy looking for super radio models. And this happens to be one of them. It's got the display here. This lights up when you're playing, or it shows the battery level. And most importantly, the cassette motors work perfectly. It runs smoothly, quietly, efficiently. It works really good. They built this thing like a freaking tank. I'm telling you.
What year is that from?
This is the weird part of this. I'll get into that. Let me get into the back here. Check out, you got all these available inputs and outputs, as well as you can add extra speakers and extra antennas. And then, this is so heavy. The batteries. How many batteries do you think this bad boy uses?
8.
I'm going to say 10.
Oh, Matt Bandy. You're the winner.
Oh,
wow.
Damn.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Extra hole in there in the back.
And so this is the this is going to smash my computer here. So I'm going to drop it. I don't know if you can see the sticker code in there. Is that showing up? Oh, there you go. It'll show, it gives a date code, but it's one of these codes that's really a code. And I looked it up, and the most you can come up with is that the second digit is the last digit of the year it was produced. So you never get the decade, but you get the last digit of whatever decade. So I think that's a 4. So it's either an 84. I don't think it goes back to 74.
No.
That doesn't look like a 90s stereo either.
Right. So I'm guessing it's 84. And it's just so well designed, man. Like even as you can see, the speakers are removable. And immediately I thought, because I had my old Ghetto Blaster when I was a kid had these speakers, but you had to plug them in, right? These, you only have to plug them in if they're unattached from the main unit. They have metal, receptors in here. So as long as the speaker is attached to here, you don't need to attach the wires. So it's just it's a really good freaking radio.
That's awesome. There was paint flecks on the top of it, you said?
Yeah.
So there was like some working guys that he had that outside when he was painting, doing some work. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was a workshop radio for sure. And man, the thing's really great. As soon as I get enough boxing for it, that thing will go on eBay, I think.
How heavy is that? Is that pretty heavy?
It's heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's a real deal.
What tape is in the player?
This is the tape that was in there. Actually, it wasn't. It was in another player in the thrift store, and I knew I had to grab this tape to test this one. And not too shabby of a tape to grab. The doors.
Oh,
stay.
nice. That looks like it says dupes.
Yeah.
Like, who are the dupes?
You know the dupes.
It was the Moors.
And actually, this tape is a little bit rare and does command a little bit of a price. So, anyways, I threw that in there to test it, and sure enough, it worked. And it stayed in there for the way to the cash register. Yeah, really good. I'm really happy with that. Oh.
Nice. I'm jealous of that. That's awesome.
And I might as well show a record. Retro Revolutions asked, does it take DC as well? Yeah, it has. It's triple power, AC, DC, and I don't know, thermal. It's triple power somehow. It has mic inputs. The thing has everything. Okay, so last 2 weeks ago now was the first record store day, and my town got 0 records in. So I was angry and upset, but however, my one record store does put the entire store on sale during record store day. So I treated myself to some pickups, which I wouldn't have normally done, especially at like this kind of price.
That's 3 LPs.
Well, it's 3 LPs. Yeah, that's under.
Oh yeah, still, So I will also ask you guys if you took my advice and tuned into Turner Classic Movies last weekend, because what a weekend of programming. Holy mackerel.
I don't get that channel, so I only do streaming, so.
Wow.
My PVR is loaded with a few things, but I haven't watched any of it. Like I got the Jimi Hendrix stuff, and the kids are all right. I already have it on DVD, so I haven't watched it yet, but I have it. And there was something else I recorded. I can't remember what else.
They did, for instance, Bam, that got played. I missed it though. I don't know what copy they had. And what did D.A. Pennybaker do after this? He did the Monterey Pop Festival, which they showed right after this. And for that, was that the one they had? Yeah, they had the Criterion edition of Monterey Pop. And man, did it ever look good. When Hendrix came on, this flowery outfit with the bright colors and all that, looked amazing. But it was just the standard version of Monterey Pop, which is like 90 minutes, even though there's like a dozen musical acts that are crazy, right? Janis, Mamas and Papas, The Who, Jimmy, and 12 other people like that are just as awesome. And so you only get like one or maybe two. No, I think just one song from each of these acts. And then it seems like 40 minutes of Ravi Shankar, which might be a poor decision, but it's good too. Yeah, it's good to listen to, but yeah, so that was on what else? I was thinking Matt Bandy. I was hoping you would have checked it out because they had a documentary on metal and they had a documentary on punk music and like that sort of stuff as well.
You remember what they were?
I don't.
Decline of the Western Civilization, Part 1 and 2.
Those are
both. Yeah, those are both on YouTube if you want to watch them. There's probably not as good quality as what
Two. I would say
has, but
2 is the best out of. There's 3 of those. There's the third one is not the greatest. The third one deals a lot of mostly like with these homeless punk rock kids in Los Angeles, downtown LA. It's more of a
the Green Day story.
It's more of a movie about these like burnout junkie kids. It's not as good as the first. I reckon the second one's probably the most entertaining.
Well, the second one is entertaining because everyone was trying to out 80s each other, like to that excess and that. Like a lot of the younger people really looked up to David Lee Roth and the persona that he had, and they're all trying to be the next DLR. Bill, you got to move your phone away from that microphone.
Got it.
So there's that, and then the two guys from Kiss, they just come off as such jerks.
Oh yeah. Are they laying surrounded by women too?
Paul Stanley is laying in bed surrounded by women, and then Gene Simmons is like walking around and there's women walking and he's like pretending that he can't concentrate because there's so many women.
Yeah.
Seriously, the only people that come off as normal in that movie is Ozzy, and he's in some stranger's house cooking breakfast.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
And Lemmy is just completely normal. You know, he's wearing jeans and he's just talking like he's talking music and tunes while everyone else is trying to like they're talking about no one else talked about music. They're all talking about, you know, how many girls they have and all that.
Oh, there's that famous scene with the dude in the pool.
He's the Warrant. I think he was.
Was it Warrant? Yeah.
Lawless, is that his name? Yeah, he comes off as really. That was all staged too. So he's in a pool and he's like drunk and he's like just talking all crazy and that, and apparently it was all staged. None of it was genuine.
His mom sitting over on the side of the pool too, so. Looking,
and I mean, a lot of people give him crap for that, and they say that was like the end of Warrant or whatever. But he was 29 years old, and you could just see that he was talked into doing this stupid thing. So I kind of get it, but really that I think that movie was really the end of that. That was the beginning of the end of the 80s, because that just turned a lot of people off to that whole scene, and that's where the grunge kind of came and took over. You know. Oh, look! Say hi.
It's a big kid, everybody.
Oh, hey, big kid. Where's my water?
It's warm.
Well, you weren't expecting perfection, were you?
You can't run the faucet? Come on.
Anyways, that was it. That's all I had to say.
Okay. They also played Song Remains the Same, but their print was awful and sounded awful. Luckily, I have that on.
I have 3 copies of that, so twice on DVD and once on Blu-ray.
It's good there. It's good there. As an aside, my projector down in the basement has finally burnt its bulb out. So,
oh wow,
that puts me in a bad position, not able to watch any surround sound stuff anymore for a while until I get that replaced. Because I don't think I'm going to replace the bulb, because that's just
you said that it's only 720p, right? A projector.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's time to upgrade.
Right. But geez, to upgrade to a 4K projector, you could get an 85-inch television.
Yeah, those projectors are not cheap. Yeah.
So I don't know. Or do I just get a 1080p projector, which would be good, still be good, and I don't know. Anyway, still be $1,000. So I think you'll look at Black Friday. See what comes available. You ready to do some records?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So I picked this thing up. The Who live at Isle of Wight Festival. I'm trying to think. I think I have this movie on the PVR. And right, is it black and white? Am I thinking of the right concert, Isle of Wight?
Not sure.
And man, they kill in that concert. Although I don't recognize this is like their. Oh yeah, John Entwistle's in his skeleton outfit
Cool.
there.
Yeah.
So you got it right up here.
I'm reading Roger Daltrey's book right now. Got it from the
Ooh.
library. Good stuff.
So this runs through their hits here as well as LP side 2 just has Water for 9 minutes and then Overture. I don't remember Water taking that long. And I think I thought a quick one was on here, but I guess not. Lots of Tommy stuff, the whole Tommy opera. Finished off with My Generation, Naked Eye, Magic Bus. This is by VV Records. So let's open it up. Let's see what's in here.
Sure. I'm at the part of the book right now where My Generation was a big hit, and then they did Anywhere, Anyhow, Any Way I Choose. And Daltrey is just like, everything's great. We're doing all these hits and that. And then, Pete's writing gets really weird. Like he comes up with a song called I'm a Boy. And he's like, I don't know if I want to read these lyrics about a guy who was brought up as a girl. And it's pretty funny.
Here we go. Let's see what's in here. Look at that.
Very nice.
That's full Who right there.
It's a cool shot. Yeah.
When The Kids Were All Right was on TCM, even though I have it as well on DVD, I forced the kids to sit down and watch. I said, this is a rock band. You watch this. Tassels. None of your little Harry Styles are wearing tassels like that and can pull it off. I don't know if it impressed them as much, but oh, well, this will be a pleasant surprise. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet one of the other records is going to be clear, and I bet one of the other ones is going to be red.
Why did it say that on there?
No, that's just my guess.
Okay.
Because it's a 3-discer, and that's my guess.
If it's a 3-discer, where's the third disc?
It's not 3 discs? I thought it was 3 LPs.
Oh, there it is.
2 shoved in there, yeah.
Calm down. It's all good.
This is the Nostra Bandy moment.
All right. So here is LP3. Hold on. Can't do 3 yet. LP2. I don't know, Matt Bandy.
Looks like it might be all blue.
God damn it. A perfect opportunity.
That is really nice. So did not expect that. I'm super happy with it. It is kind of see-through-y.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can make that out. The light's really weird.
So, what was the name of the Who before they decided on changing their name to the Who? What were they called?
Ooh.
I don't think I knew this.
Now it's not coming to me.
So their name was the High Numbers.
Oh, I knew that.
And the reason why they called the band the High Numbers is because they were all into the mod scene.
Sure.
And part of the mod scene was bowling. And when you're picking out a bowling shoe, the higher the number, for the bigger the foot, right?
Oh.
And you know what they say with guys with big feet? They need big shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. High numbers.
So there you go. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Special Collectors 3 LP Gatefolds. Oh, it did say it here. I didn't even read it on blue vinyl.
Oh.
Wow. It's amazing what happens when you read.
Yeah.
Learn things.
And the other thing I picked up to treat
Oh.
myself, I saw this there and I thought, wow, that is cool. And Kevin just had a big speech about these two playing together for Derek and the Dominoes.
What's that hand?
Oh,
It's down there. Uh-oh.
What?
A
Who is
foreign
tapping?
audio coming in. A foreign audio coming in.
My phone thinks I asked about the weather. Okay, so yeah, Duane Allman, Eric Clapton jamming together in 1970. So this is kind of taking a chance on it because you never know what kind of recording quality this can be. If it's in the studio or if it's a home recording or what the heck. Kevin, did you know anything about this release?
No.
Is it an official release or is it like a pseudo bootleg?
It's made in Europe, so
I've definitely seen that photo before. And I do have a bootleg with them jamming, but it's called Derek and the Dominoes. It's not called Allman and Clapton. So,
boy, they really wanted to get together for that photo. They're into it.
That looks like it was the
and
end of
you
the night.
hold the neck. I'll hold the body.
Someone brought that guitar for them. So here's the guitar. They're thinking who gets the guitar once the photo's taken. Who's taking that guitar home?
Yeah, let's open this puppy up. What was this one worth? This was
35.
35 minus 20%. Another gatefold. Come on, damn it. Oh, a good picture in here too. There's that one we seen, but then let's get to the group here.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, look over here, guys.
Who's that guy in the back?
He looks like that guy from the Game Chasers that's always sleeping on them.
Oh, Melvor.
Melvor, yeah, that's it.
Oh, man. So we have 2 albums in here. Still doesn't predominantly say who the record label is. It just says up here DBQP made in Europe. Like pretty vague. All rights reserved. This is also on Amazon because I looked it up quick to see if this was a ripoff price or not. And it was still, even though the regular price was cheaper than Amazon. Really plain label on there. So I don't know what this is going to sound like. It's just on black.
One big band. That's a jam.
We got 2 bands here. Oh, it's tight. Get in there. And what do we got on the other one? Yeah, they're titled. Track 1 is The Last Jam. Oh, that side D is called The Last Jam. And then the 4th jam and the 5th jam. So it is jam.
Just jams.
Jamming they will do. Jared's asking, who do you think had the highest numbers of the high numbers?
Oh, geez. Well, Pete had the big nose. Does that tell you anything?
You know, Entwistle was packing. You know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the 2 brand new records I got, and that's where I'll leave off on my turn. So that's exciting. It'd be neat to try these out, see what they sound like. Probably this one's not going to be so good, but the first jam goes on for 20 minutes. Yeah, then the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and final. So cool stuff.
Is it just those two guys on the record, or is there other people playing too?
They had the photo of the other people in the band, so
Unknown. Should get that photo put on a shirt though. That is amazing. Or just that guy in the back. All right. We can move on back to Matt Bandy
All right.
with his themes.
We'll step up. We'll go in size order. So I went from cassette. I'm going to bump up to 7 inches. And I have 2 7 inches to show. First one is a band from Toronto called Urban Blight. This is their first 7-inch on Deranged Records, which I'm not sure if they're still a label, but they're a hardcore punk label. I think they're from the States. But Urban Blight are no longer a band. They put out a demo tape and 2 7-inches, and I think they called it quits after that. But yeah, I haven't listened to this record in a long time, but this is a really good band. They're heavily inspired by 80s era East Coast Boston hardcore punk. It's a really pretty raw and dirty sound to it, so take a look. Oh, this is cool. So this is a spoof on Atlantic Records there. That's funny. It's been so long that didn't notice that. So there's only three tracks on this.
Looks like there isn't much on that one side.
Oh no, yeah, this it's well, it's no, not even. It's 40 seconds. And side 2. Okay, so there's less than 2 minutes worth of music on this. So side 2 is a minute and 28 seconds.
40 seconds. That's really awkward. You get up to the record player, you put the needle on, then do you stay there? You wait?
That's probably why I haven't listened to this record in a long time. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I listened to the demo quite a bit, but that's on cassette. I don't know if that was ever pressed onto vinyl. And what we got? This is cool. It's just the lyric sheet. It's all hand-drawn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of this building in Toronto?
CN Tower.
CN Tower?
Yeah.
What is that? What does the CN stand for?
So there's the Canadian National Railway System in Canada, and they're the ones that built that tower, communication tower on their property, and it's called the CN Tower.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a big dick.
I don't know what your dick looks like, Bill, but if it looks like the CN Tower, you might need to see a doctor. You might have some problems.
It's funny. I'm looking at the lyric sheet here, and I don't know if I could read these lyrics in less than 2 minutes. So that's pretty amazing.
What year is that from?
This was 2005. This came out. So I was still in Chicago at that time. I probably got this. I don't think maybe I saw them play because that's typically where I would get 7 inches, especially hardcore 7 inches or punk rock 7 inches from. I go to shows every weekend, and that's where I got the majority of these records. So I think they probably toured in Chicago. I don't remember seeing them, but I got their demo cassette in this, so I'm assuming that's where I picked this up from.
Just the artwork and everything looks very 90s.
Yeah, no, this is very reminiscent of some mid 2000s hardcore, especially this style. There's a artist named Spomer. Who did a lot of album covers that's kind of similar to this style. And the other 7-inch here is a band called Betrayed, and they are from they're from Vancouver. They do over the years they kind of had other members that were from the States and would get together when they would tour and stuff. But they're originated from Vancouver. There's a lot of bands from that Pacific Northwest area that had kind of similar sounds, and they shared a lot of members. So some of the members would have guys in it from Washington and go up to Vancouver and play in the bands. But I'm pretty sure these guys were all from Canada when it first came out. And we got a download code here. This record came out in what year? This was like 2010, 2011. This came out. So here's the download code. If anybody needs that, it's probably still good. I know I never used it. So there you go.
Generous.
I at one time actually had 3 copies of this record. So this record label, React Records, I'm a huge fan. It's still around, but it's not as active as it once was. Actually, the lead singer of this band, Aram, right here, this guy, started the record label. And I was a big fan of the record label. So they would put out a bunch of different color variants, and I would pick up every single one when a new record would drop. I don't do that anymore. But what's cool about React, they always went full out with all their packaging. And this is on blue. I also had it on white and on black, I believe. But I sold those other 2 when I got to a point where I just kind of cleared out all of my doubles and multiple pressing variants, and I would just keep the pressing with the lowest number and sell the other 2. And just got the lyric sheet here.
But
and this is, go ahead.
Did you find like it was easy to sell?
Actually, I traded a bunch of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So this actually, if you notice the no stage diving sign, if you ever see that is from the Gilman Street in San Francisco, a pretty famous club there. It's where Green Day got their start, where Operation Ivy got their start. But what's cool about all the React releases, they would always come up with a download code. You get a sticker. This was pretty much their logo. And it was all straight edge bands that were on this record label. And every release would always come with it's not really a poster, but it would have a little essay written by somebody about somebody in the hardcore scene, or from one of the bands, or from somebody from the label, or just a friend of theirs. And a lot of times they would write about just what the music meant to them, or some other issue that they thought needed some something to talk about. So yeah, all those releases came with that. And actually, I wish I would have brought the so all the 7 inches, they would come with in the packaging, the cardboard that would hold some of the space. They would silk screen or screen an image on that, and those are almost kind of collectible too. So it was a piece of cardboard that's essentially the size of this, that would have a different live shot or something related to the record label. They would do a silk screen. Do you know what a silk screen is?
Yeah. Well, it's like putting artwork onto a shirt, right?
Yeah. But it's basically it's ink, and then they put the whatever they're transferring over, and they run it's like a kind of like a brush, and it prints it on there, and they just let it dry. And so yeah, it was kind of cool too. And I'm gonna show one other record here. So I'm done with the 7 inches. On to the big 12 inch here. So this was a band from Toronto called No Warning. This record here was huge when it first came out in 2002, and this band blew up really big. This was released on Bridge 9 Records, which in the early 2000s, this was kind of like, this was the cool label to be on. And not long after this record came out, the band kind of went about the sound changed a lot, but this record was huge, and it was out of print for a very long time and was really, really expensive to get. So this was repressed in 2012 as a double LP. This wasn't originally a double LP, but the second record has an EP and a demo on it. So it's pretty much kind of like their entire early discography. I'm gonna see if there's any nudity here.
There's a ton of photos there.
Mm-hmm. No, just a lot of sweaty dudes with their shirts off.
Right.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, this was one of my wife's favorite bands when we first started dating, and she's the one that kind of really got me into this band here. I believe, yeah, it's on like a red vinyl. There's a variant of this record that is named the Blood and Shit, and that was it's a pretty pricey record. It's a weird so it's this color red, but it has like a kind of a brown in it too, and they called it the Blood and Shit.
Why not?
Yeah. But what was, I think how this band got really popular is they were real young kids, right? When this came out, they were probably teenagers when this record came out, and the sound that they did was reminiscent of an early 90s New York sound, and at that time not a lot of people were doing that. So okay, here's the shit. Wow. Here. So these were pretty much the two colors here, but it was combined. They were combined together. Mm-hmm. It was like a split. And on the back you have a little
scary guy.
Scary guy, yeah. There you go. So this was the demo and their first EP released on this here. But yeah,
Matt Bandy has that tattooed on his back.
Not this on my back, no. Maybe somewhere else.
Oh.
But yeah, when they first came out, not a lot of people were doing that sound, so it kind of revitalized that sound. And yeah, this record it holds up great, and it's still, a very, very loved record. So this one's pretty important to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you go see these bands, do you got to like shave down the chest and the back and everything? So when the shirt comes off, you can.
Well, I have a hairless chest naturally, so I don't have to worry about that.
Jeez.
But I keep my shirt on.
Beautiful. Kevin, do you have a naturally hairless chest?
No, I do not. I have the exact opposite. You've seen me in the pool, Billy. You know. Don't ask questions you know the answer to.
That's out of the memory.
Oh, I don't think
some things don't stay.
I don't think so. I think that's a nightly occurrence for you.
Oof, yeah.
It was bank, huh?
He has lovely nipple hair.
I provide. That's all. All right, moving on to records. What we got here? Now my records are all messed up here.
Yeah, gotta get back to the C's.
I think
in the Cult.
No, I'm at Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Did you show this one? I think you showed this one already.
Yeah, I don't think mine's in that good a condition.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well,
what's new?
Yeah. Actually, this is. I think like there's a couple of different versions of this album, and then this one is like. It's kind of that black, glossy. edition. I think there is like more of a brown fuzzy edition, like the band album. So this one's probably the least desirable of the two or whatever. But here's the fold. Is yours gatefold?
Yeah.
Gotta be gatefold. It's gotta be gatefold.
My parents have a photograph of themselves that's very reminiscent of that cover.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like this. It was like one of those old timey posing photos, you know.
Yeah.
Here it is on the Atlantic label.
That's a must-have record right there.
Absolutely. And
I think I gave Joe a copy of it. I'm like, you gotta have this. Not interested. I don't care. You're taking it.
I'll never listen to it. Next.
What's going on over there?
I accidentally hit play on our video, so I had Matt Bandy talking to me in my ear.
Couldn't get enough.
So this is
what's the note back there?
Oh, it's
Weed
probably
Wednesday?
Wee bit crackly, some pops.
Ah.
So I've been marking the ones that have some issues.
That's smart.
To because I have that cleaner, but it's a whole process, right? So you want to have a bunch of records ready to go to clean them all at once, instead of like, oh, this one's bad, I'm gonna hook up the cleaner and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just a record. I don't even pull that one out. Here's one that Bill doesn't have. Crosby, Stills, and Nash Young. You don't have American Dream.
No way.
Look at those guys. American Dream.
What year is that?
Those are
late
best
80s?
friends.
Late 80s.
Best friends forever.
I honestly haven't listened to this in forever. The only song I know on it is American Dream. I mean, looked in here. I remember it not being very good, but I'm pretty sure I paid like $1 for this.
Yeah, Crosby's looking
rough. Let's see what the vinyl looks like. Of course, it's in great shape because it's probably been played once by me, and that's it.
I'm curious what it sounds like. What stuff's on there?
Yeah, the song "American Dream" that got a few plays on the radio. The rest of it, I don't know. Well, I should give it a spin. I'll give it a spin next week or this week, and I'll give you a report next week. And here's a band. This is one of my favorite bands, and believe it or not, I only have 2 of their albums. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Oh.
DDR?
These guys are
CCR.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one.
I don't know that album.
Green River.
You don't know that album? Green River?
Come on.
No, I need that one.
Come on home to Green River. Yeah, it's in great shape, though. And this one gets played quite a bit. But
yeah, I could use that.
I should put update. Oh, no, this one has the anti-static in there, so this one's good. Anti-static sleeve. Well, it's having issues. Maybe it is time to update this sucker. All right. Anyway.
See, what would happen to our stream if we were to play cuts live during the stream?
Like that jam one that you have, that's probably fine.
What jam one? Oh, right.
Clapton and Allman, like that's probably fine to play down a little bit of that. But to play CCR is probably get in trouble.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, they would just mute part of the video
after the fact. But what happens when it's live?
It'd be fine.
They'd let it go live. There's no.
Yeah, it'll be after the fact where they'll mute part of it. Now, if someone from the company complains or whatever, then you might get a cease and desist or whatever. But this is Willie and the Poor Boys, by the way. Another great one. But yeah, they had like a string of about 4 albums in a year and a half that all went #1. And I only have 2 of them. I need to get more.
I guess I only have like their compilations.
That's what I have on CD. I got the compilations on CD.
Cosmos Factory.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I'd like to get that one.
I come across a bunch of Creedence records, but they're always in awful shape. So I never pick them up.
Well played.
Next is the purple.
There
The
you go.
Deep Purple Machine Head. Not sure if Bill showed this one either.
I think maybe early on he did.
But of course, mine's in better condition.
I was going to say that it didn't look that good.
The one thing you remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think stuff was falling out by this point.
Yeah, there was easy
Slipping
access.
out. Yeah, easy access.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even know if the record was in there.
So this is a weird one where the record comes out over here. Slides out like that. I don't know. I don't know if I approve of that. There's your lyrics. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So I got it in the record in there. And then the lyrics. I don't know. Maybe Bill doesn't have this. Look at that. It's like Santa Claus's
I don't think
naughty
so.
and nice list.
Naughty list.
No.
Nothing on the back. Waste space there. Was opportunity to put something there. There you go. I got one more Deep Purple. How does this go back? This way? Say that way. One more Deep Purple. This is probably their second most famous album. Perfect Strangers. This was the big comeback album in the 80s with Knocking on Your Back Door. No?
And Perfect Strangers.
What era of Deep Purple is your favorite, Kev?
Oh, man.
Was they break it up in what they call it, phases, like phase 1, phase 2?
Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not I could tell you I'm not a fan of the Mark 1 stuff.
Mhm.
I tried listening to it and it's like a lot of covers and I mean it's okay. Hush is a great song.
Yeah.
From that era. And then really when it comes to like 2, 3, and 4, honestly for me they kind of all blend together. Like I can't tell you who's singing who. Like who the singer is on each one. They all sound friggin' alike to me. I know that's probably blasphemy to
Yeah,
say
they really do.
To some diehard fans, but I can't tell the difference between like Coverdale and I can't remember the other guy's name. Like who the singer on Machine Head. I don't know which one that is. I don't know. So I'm not that diehard of a fan, you know. I just kind of pick up I only have 2. So I pick them up when they.
You don't have In Rock?
Nope. I get them when the price is right kind of
that.
thing. No, I just these 2, and I mean I'd like to get it. You know, I like that one. I like Burn.
Burn's great.
Yeah, Stormbringer. I actually like that album a lot.
Yeah, that one I know for sure is Coverdale's on that one.
Yeah, I think that was the last one he did before he left the band. But that would be about it for that, and then Perfect Strangers. And honestly, that would be about it for me for Deep Purple. The live albums, of course, made in Japan.
Fireball.
That's another one that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but that's really I mean, they just came out with a brand new album.
That's right. Yeah.
Last week or the week before that. And it sounded okay. You know, I listened to a little bit and it was kind of all jazzy and stuff, but it was all right. But which one's this one? I don't even know what this is. Oh yeah. All right. You want to see Donovan's greatest hits?
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Such
that's
a weird,
just like the weirdest cover.
creepy.
Yeah. But this has everything you want on it. Mellow Yellow.
It does, yeah.
Sunshine Superman. Hurley
Season
Gurley
of the
Man,
Witch.
Jennifer Jupiter. Crappy back on there. Just terrible artwork on this. But yeah, it is a You put this on, and it's not a dull moment on it. So it just got one of those on there. So
Yeah, I'd like that. Do I have that? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. And one
Donovan.
final thing. This is the last record I have, so I might as well show it here. This is the only Def Leppard album I really care for. That is On Through the Night.
Oh, right on.
This is their new wave of British metal album. It's very raw rock sound. Before Mutt Lange got in there and kind of messed them up, made them a more pop band. Although I haven't listened to High and Dry in a long time, and everyone goes on about how good that one is, so maybe I need to give that one a re-listen. But Sarah has Pyromania, and I listen. I'm just like, I don't know. It's AC/DC for girls. You know?
Oh, nice. That's a perfect description.
I mean, I know it's not PC to say, but it's just it's AC/DC made to be, like the lyrics are tamer. It's they're more gentle.
Pour some sugar.
And this has
on
like a weird polygram sticker on there. I don't know. It's got I've never seen that on. This is the only record I've seen that have that.
That's a cool cover. That's a huge
It is.
guitar.
Yeah.
It's a whole truck.
Well, you got the truck. Yeah, it's going into space. I mean, this is a good record. It is. But then the rest I don't know. Not my thing. That's it. That's all I have. So just gonna sit back and let Bill go and show his cat scratch records and Bandy go full Bandy.
Wow. Cat scratch records.
That's right. Let's see what the cat scratch this week.
No cat scratch this week. No cat scratch. We're in the goods. We've been in the goods. We're in the good shelf. Right? Come on. I guess we can finally start showing these Beach Boys records I've been talking about.
It's been like a
Teasing that
month.
one for yeah. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this record.
Yeah, so we will start with Pet Sounds. This is the big one that they spent hours and hours in the studio with the Wrecking Crew putting this together, layering upon layering upon layering, and they finally came out with the 50th anniversary pressing. So I thought I should get this. And it's the classic cover, reproduction of the cover, even down to the thing here that Capitol did with the on the top to show it's stereo. Mm-hmm. And again, I had to make a choice whether I was going to get stereo or mono. And they say the mono one is the better one, that it was created for mono, and the monolists out there say that mono will create stereo in your room. It was designed to bounce off the walls in certain ways to create sounds hitting your ears at different times, even though it's mono. And that's how it was mixed, and that's how you should experience it. But man, you put this on with headphones and it's just it's so good, So I did go with stereo. And if I recall, I had to order this either 2 or 3 times, because the first one I got had scuffs in it, and even had you could hear it on playback. You could hear some scratchiness happen on playback. I'm like, this record has got to be perfect. It's got to have perfect sound.
That is some early STC pod episodes. Both you and Joe, I remember, had just bought that, and you were talking about having to send it back.
Did he have to send one back too?
I believe so.
Holy. Yeah, it is super heavy. What is the weight on this? It's like heavier than 180. It feels like a 78. It's so thick. But and I think I even had to compromise with what I got with this one too, but I think it played fine. So I went with that. So The classic Capitol rainbow label.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do we got? God Only Knows, of course. Here Today. I Wasn't Made for These Times. Pet Sounds. Caroline. Wouldn't It Be Nice? You Still Believe in Me? That's Not Me. Don't Talk. I'm Waiting for the Day. Let's Go Away. And probably my favorite, Sloop John B. Even though it's a short song. Under 3 minutes. Well, they're all short songs. It's the Beach Boys. So I really like this. Really like putting headphones on and experiencing all the sounds. Try to imagine what everyone's doing in the recording process. It's very, very large.
So do you think that record gets the praise that it does because of the recording innovation? I mean, I love a couple of those tracks off that, like Sloop John B and Wouldn't Be Nice. Those are great songs, but as an album as a whole, I just don't, because I always I see that pop up constantly on the greatest record of all time. It goes back and forth between that and Sgt. Pepper, and I just don't get it. I mean, I get there's some really good songs on there, but as a whole, there's some weird stuff.
There is weird stuff. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Well. Yeah. It's all about that competition. It started with the Beatles, right? And created this thing.
What makes that the best record ever? I always see that as number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably right. It's due to the recording innovation and the quality of the session guys, So
then the Rolling Stones follow up. That didn't. What was it? Satan's Magic Service or something?
Satanic Majesty's Request.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one didn't. That was their answer to Sgt. Pepper's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it?
It's
I don't remember it being very good.
In this vein, if you wanna follow more Beach Boys stuff, that's this kind of experimentation of artistic quality. They put out this huge box set called I think it's called Smile, the Smile Sessions, and apparently it's like this where what's his face Brian Wilson Duh. Again, just over and over again, just beating his staff, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And there's some really crazy tracks on this huge box set, the Smile set. And I've had my eye on that for many a year, but I think it's pretty expensive.
Was it the next album that the Beach Boys did after that one where the band insisted that they do their own instruments and he not use the Wrecking Crew, and it took them like 3 times the amount of time to record that album because they just were not as efficient as the Wrecking Crew. I can't remember what the next album is, but
yeah, that might be the Smile Sessions. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know what I know from the movie, which I thought was excellent with John Cusack and what's his face.
High Fidelity.
Not High Fidelity. The Brian Wilson movie where there's the young Brian Wilson, older. Anyways, it's good.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
The Beach Boys. This is how we know the Beach Boys. California girls. They're just having fun out on the boat.
Ripping off Chuck Berry.
Capitol Records again. Look at these guys. They're strapping. Doing some boating. Surf music. Girl from New York City. Then I Kissed Her. Yeah, Mike Love gets a lot of work on this album. Brian Wilson just has a couple songs. What year is this? This is a Capitol re-release. It previously released at full price. I can't find a year on this one. Got the old paper sleeve in here. Which is fine. Still doing its job.
Mm.
See? Everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hair.
Big. Oh,
That's
is
a
that
hair.
what that is? Is that what that is?
It's a hair.
Okay. You're lucky.
And then we got Best of the Beach Boys. This is their surf music here for sure. Surfing USA, Surfer Girl. Little Honda. Louie Louie, Catch a Wave. Geez, I can't find the date on these things. There's the back. Best of the Beach Boys, Volume 1. This is from Capitol. It's official. We had one viewer pop in for a second. Saw the Beach Boys. Left, there's the stereo symbol. Uh-oh.
Sleeveless.
Classic Bill.
Classic. Hey, it's fine though. See, maybe it's better for the records.
That
I
shit
see a
is
lot of
so good.
scuffs there.
That's because my camera is
picking up the scuffs.
it's the lighting. I don't even see that here. It's the weird lighting. That's like microscopic stuff. So that's Star. Look at that label, Starline by Capitol Records. That must be their sub label or something. And finally, to end off the Beach Boys stuff, this is when they went a little more weirder, a little more progressive. Surf's Up, even though it's called Surf's Up, but look at that artwork.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. It's like one of my records.
yeah, it's very morbid. What's on that one? Anything you recognize? Nope. Huh. What year did that come out? 1997. On the back?
Printed in Canada. Another Canadian press.
Is one of the songs 1997? Like that's the name of the.
No, Disney Girls, 1957.
Oh, 57. Okay, sorry.
Take a load off your feet. It's not surfer. I've listened. It's not surfer sound. It's geez, I don't know how to describe it. Like instrumental. It's been a while since I put it on. We have something that's yeah, but there's something else in here. We got a lyric sheet. Is it for the right thing? Yeah, it's the right thing. Lyric sheet.
(1971) 17th studio album.
It's all Mike Love stuff on here.
17th?
How can it be their 17th by 71? They did 17 albums in
That's wild.
Like, there's what,
8 years.
There's 2 tracks on here by Brian Wilson, and Mike Love is. Yeah, well, let's see what the record looks like.
Yeah, it's reviewed pretty well here. Number 61 on Pitchfork's list of top 100 albums of the 1970s. You know Pitchfork, right? The major publication.
These need sleeves for sure. And there we at 90 minutes, eh? Should I keep my session going and show a Beatles record?
Sure.
Crack the Beatle box, guys. Let's get some subscribes happening. This is a big deal. Okay. I'm just taking a look. See if these are in any kind of order. Doesn't look like. Well, Okay. Whew. They've been in the box a while. So we are going to start with the Beatles Capitol Records. Are these the ones? I did a video a long time ago, the only scripted video I ever did, where I described the Canada-only Capitol releases of the Beatles records. There was 4 of them. And 1, 2... I think this is the 4. So in Canada, we got different mixes than what anyone else got. The US had different mixes. Across the pond had different mixes. I don't know what they were doing. Like Parlophone would just send all of the tracks across, and then whoever in Canada could just mix it however they wanted. And it was.
Is there a mix that's more desired, or is thought of as the quintessential mix?
You know, there are pages and pages and pages written about the mix and which one's better. Oh, I like the bassier version. No, I don't. That's stupid. I like the the other one. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there is. You just scratch the surface trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because it all depends on which pressing it is too, because some pressings actually have different mixes than other pressings. Like if it was pressed in this plant in Ottawa, or this plant pressed in Brantford, it's yeah, watch the video. I can't remember everything. My memory. Watch the video. I did the research then. So this is Beatlemania with the Beatles. No, this isn't. I'm getting myself confused here. What I am talking about are these ones here. The 6000 series. Those are the Canada only. This one is not a 6000 series. So this is just the first one we got, though. Right? Am I right?
No sleeve in there?
No, there's a sleeve.
Oh, okay.
There's a sleeve.
Okay.
So we're on Capitol Beatlemania with the Beatles. It's in stereo. This might be a reissue. Don't know. Capitol. And again, when I was doing this research, there was so much crap you could look for to figure out what the deal was, if it's a reissue and from what year, because like the Capitol label would change. Sometimes it wouldn't have these stars, and then sometimes it would have the stars, and then or the building in the background. So much minutia, and people are out there doing that research, but I don't got the memory for that. So that's with the Beatles, and then we get into these, the 6000 series. That's what I'm talking about.
That looks like a unique cover. Like I don't normally see that in their discography.
Right. Canada only. Twist and shout. Mm-hmm. Beatles. Yeah. And then here you have the rainbow label, mm-hmm. and you see the Capitol is different.
Yeah.
And then like even this inner thing right here is where the stamp happened. So like one pressing plant would make this mark here. Another pressing plant would have it more inside. That's how you can fingerprint where it came from and which pressing you had. It's easy to say this isn't original pressing, but is it really?
So within Canada, there was different mixes of the Canadian version?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Wow.
So here's another one from the 6000 series, Long Tall Sally. This one I remember where I got this. I was in Kingston at Brian's Music, and it's a legendary record store of, it's like if a hoarder were to have a record store, and it's just piles of records about to cave in on you. And normally this one's not that easy to find. Of course, he had many of them of differing quality, and he let me pick out, a different piece of vinyl to match this cover kind of thing, because the one that was in here was pretty rough. So he let me, go ahead, pick out another record and just slip it in there. Of course, then you run the the gamble of not getting the right pressing into this cover, so however, as you can see, you just got the one dot here, so that means mono. And see, that was Brian's records.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my fault.
You had that record for how long?
They didn't make inner sleeves until just a couple years ago.
Oh, I see.
You got the rainbow, Capitol Rainbow. You got the pressing on the outside. Let's see what's next. Where's my other? There should be 4 of them, but I don't know. Unless I didn't organize. It's just a problem. Shocking. We have Meet the Beatles with the big
right over the thing.
That's what I think of that guy. Must have been a John. Oh no, I'm sorry. They did not like Harrison. Not a fan of George.
Yeah, it's like a reflective sticker too. There's no chance taking that off. And
you try a little heat, like a hair dryer?
No. That's Patty. Patty did that. Patty H. Here's the back. Meet the Beatles. What was the first one I showed you? That was Beatlemania. And this one is Meet the Beatles. Early Beatles stuff. This one has a sleeve. And there you have the rainbow, Capitol Rainbow. And you see the pressing marks way on the inside for this one.
Oh,
Stamp. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Lots of issues.
That camera is way too shows it's artifacting.
It's
Digital artifacts on there.
Hey, didn't give a shit.
It's an accurate representation.
Oh, that smells very. There's age to that. Can't replicate that smell. I just want to see if there's any more super early Beatles stuff. Then we'll save the rest, I think. Yeah. Okay, this is the last not super early, but Beatles 65 on Capitol. Great new hits by the boys. No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black, Rock and Roll Music, I'll Follow the Sun. I Feel Fine. Everybody's trying to be my baby.
Honey, don't.
The Beatles channel on Sirius just replayed that huge audio documentary they do where it's called the Magical History Tour. And they play every single Beatles track chronologically in order. And they talk about each one too. Like they give the story of what's happening. It's massive. Very well done. Is this mono too? Jeez, I'm sitting on a gold mine here. Also available in stereo. It's got a paper sleeve in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, someone should bottle that.
Bill's getting high on his records.
Uh-oh.
I thought you were sitting on a gold mine.
Here comes the cat. What happened to the cat? What did the cat do?
Oh, took a bite. I'll still play.
Just a bit outside.
That's fine. That song's not even started yet.
That's character.
Look at that. It's right on the warning track.
You're all good.
See? There's your thumbnail. Yeah. Gold mine.
I think we got the title of the show. It should be Broken Records.
We got some No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black, some Chuck Berry on here. Mm-hmm. 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 Ooh, What's this sleeve doing?
Is that the missing piece in there?
You got an original Capitol Records sleeve there. A Canadian one, because there's French on the back. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that Beatles in Canada video. Refresh my memory, because learn more about the Beatles. Anyways, that's it for my early Beatles stuff. Next week we'll continue, and of course we'll go with that. We'll start with that.
Nice. I need that one.
Gold Mine retirement vinyl on the vinyl show. All right, Matt Bandy, bring it on home.
Okay.
You get to close the show today.
Alrighty. So this record here is another, obviously Canadian band. This band is from Vancouver. The name of this band is Go It Alone. This was their. Actually, it's not even on the side there. This was their third. I'm sorry, their second full-length third record though. The two records previous to this were. This record is called Histories. I'm not sure if I said that. But I got a gatefold. Just some live shots of the band here. This is another band I saw quite a few times play. And this record I actually got at a music festival called Sound and Fury. So this is called the Sound and Fury press of this record. And I believe, yeah, this is on white vinyl.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
This is hand numbered number 48 out of 110. So this is kind of there's a bunch of different pressings of this record. Rivalry Records, actually my friend Kyle, is his record label. He would do a bunch of different variants. So there's quite a few different presses of this record. This for some reason is one of the more pricier pressings of this. But I got this at Sound and Fury in 2007. So Go It Alone, they were kind of that Pacific Northwest sound. So all these bands from that area of Canada and the United States, they shared a lot of different members. It was kind of a revolving door between these bands, and so you'll get some of the bands kind of they're all different, but they kind of had a real similar tone and sound to it. But this was the last record that they put out. Shove that back in there. First time I saw this band play was at a house show. You don't see too many house shows anymore. And they were playing on their 7-inch. So they just had a record just come out. And it was in a it wasn't even really a basement. It was like a spare room of the house, and there was maybe like 20 kids in the room, and it was an awesome show. That was actually the first show I ever went to with my wife. Just remembered that.
I mean, it was like an advertised show?
Within like if you're in the know, yeah.
It's like a swingers thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me show this record here. So this was a newer band. This came out in 2017. This has members. This guy right here, he goes by Bubbles. He was in Go It Alone. He was a guitar player in that band, and there might be another member That's in that was also in Go It Alone, the band I just showed. This was one of the last. I don't actively search out too many newer hardcore bands or punk rock bands. That's a little bit more tied. I still love that music, always will, but that's kind of a little bit more tied to my youth, and that type of music. Those bands is always historically been about the youth and like new kids, putting out music. So I don't actively search out too many new modern bands. This band, it was an exception to that. I do have friends who run record labels and who are still in bands, and I'll pick up their records. But as far as active new bands, this was one of the last bands that I really kind of had an affinity to. I find that the older that I get, I'm getting harder to relate to the younger hardcore bands. Which it makes sense. I'm getting older, and what they're singing about doesn't resonate with me like these bands did, or the bands that I grew up with. But this it was a great band. Got to see him once in a few years ago in San Francisco. This was on clear vinyl.
Nice.
New Age Records is who put this out. This record label was a lot. Was more active in the late '80s, early '90s, but they kind of just came out and started putting records out again. There was forget the pressing info. He got a shot of the band here on this record. So this is a collection of. I believe their demo and their first 7-inch. So this isn't really technically a full length. It's just more like a compilation of their early records. And if you remember what I said last week about packaging records,
Oh yeah,
this one unfortunately came split because it wasn't packaged on the outside, and it's a bummer. That kind of that bugs me every time I pull it out. But yeah, this pressing was exclusive to mail order, and a pretty low number. Not that really matters, but yeah, this is one of the last modern or newer, even though it's old guys or guys my age playing in the band. Okay, and I'll go on to these two records here from Get the Most. If you recognize, well, I don't know if you won't recognize. So this guy, this is another band for Vancouver. This guy here is this guy here. So a lot of cross-pollination between these guys. That's common in this music scene too. These were both released on React Records, the label I was waxing poetically about earlier. So this is their first full length, I believe. This one is also on clear see-through vinyl.
Like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you got like a cool mat underneath there on your turntable.
Yeah. And what we got? Got a sticker of the band from Live Shot. You got a download code. If you want it, it's yours.
There it is.
There it is.
Subscribe.
Get it. And
Like, subscribe.
always comes with a little essay. This one is entitled Hope. So all this is all real positive message behind a lot of these bands, especially on this record label here. It gets called positive hardcore or posicore, but it's they talk about more uplifting, positive type stuff. You got the lyric sheet here, just pictures of the band. Got the band members there. You got Ace, AO, Face, Bubbles, and Senior Bubbles.
Senior Bubbles.
Senior Bubbles is I don't forget what that guy. I've met the guy a few times. I forget what his real name is. And Cram, you got down there on drums. Cram, his real name is Mark. Cram is just Mark spelled backwards.
So when you see these guys live, are they actually coming down to California, or were you in Chicago? Or
yeah, no, these guys. By the time these guys were a band and touring, I was already in California, so I saw them on a California tour.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys. Honestly, these guys would just tour nonstop, all their different bands.
Right.
A lot of them had jobs too. A couple of these guys are teachers, I believe. But that summer's off, so they were able to tour that way. Yeah, I saw them at least 2 or 3 times. And this was a collection of their first 2 7-inches. So this was released afterwards. So before that full length out, they had 2 7-inches, which were essentially EPs. But those were released on other labels. Yeah, we got another download code. There you go.
Whoa.
Get it. Subscribe. And we got this one. We have an essay on creativity. You got a big React Records sticker. And what's this on? Oh yeah, this is on like a purple marble. I like this color.
Nice.
Then yeah, I think this kind of you got the lyric sheet here, which is almost kind of doubles as a poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of my. I just dug this record label so much because they just killed it with the packaging and the layouts of everything, and they, a lot of time and thought went into the pressings.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I'll finish with these guys here. I don't know if I've showed this. I have showed this band on here before. I think this band is from Toronto. There's a band called Career Suicide. And I unfortunately I didn't get a chance to see this band. They played in Chicago one time, and the show was, it was in a weird residential neighborhood, and I think it got shut down because of fire code probably. And I don't think the show actually happened. But yeah, it's been a while since I've pulled these guys out and listened to these. But this, they have quite a few records, but they're more of a kind of snotty, more akin to like the Germs or Gangrene. I know, Kevin, you know who Gangrene is. We talked about that on here. So it's kind of that. These are all on black vinyl. This record label here, Deranged Records, they were most of their pressings would always just be on black vinyl. They weren't too big on the colored vinyl and stuff. Trying to think if this is. I'm not sure where this is in their discography. This might be their first full length. But these are all really like short, fast, and loud is a good way to describe this band. This is Attempted Suicide. That's the name of this record. This is a good record. This is a little bit It's still fast, but it's a little bit some more mid-tempo songs on this record too. You got the lyric
That's a lot of
sheet.
words.
That is a lot of words, yeah. Yeah, just on black vinyl. I don't think this is there. This came out in 2006. I got all of these records when I was in Chicago. And I don't think they're a band anymore. And this was a split release that they did with a band called Jed Whitey, which I'm not sure where that band is from. Just on black. So Monty Python looking font label there. Yeah, just got some shots of the band.
Whoa, some jumping.
Yeah, that's pretty common. So this is Jed Whitey, and this was Career Suicide here. Jed, I don't even remember what. It looks like they're from Australia. Yeah, don't remember what that band sounded like at all. I'm sure similar to Career Suicide. And last one here. This is might be my favorite record of theirs. Invisible Eyes. It's kind of a weird. You got their faces inside the eyeballs there. It's kind of creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another live shot of the band at the back. If you were to start listening to this band, this would probably be the record I'd recommend. There's only let's see, 3, 4, 6 songs on this here. So it's some of the records can be not long, but they just have a lot of songs on it, just on black. But yeah, this is a good one. Essentially like a little poster here.
Yeah, that's good size.
There you go. That's the rest of my Career Suicide records.
And where are they from?
They're from Toronto. It says recorded at Audiolab Studios, Toronto, January 10th, 2005. Yeah, this band I used to listen to a bunch when these records were coming out. This is probably one of my favorite bands that I've never seen before. Was not to be. I think that was the only time that they came to Chicago that I was still there, and the show got shut down. It was in a sketchy neighborhood too, so it's not a surprise that it got shut down. But yeah, this band toured all over. They toured Japan. They toured Europe. And they did it themselves too, without any tour management. They booked it themselves and went on tour. It's pretty crazy if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that like those small Canadian bands are able to do that, because there are established Canadian artists in Canada that they don't get any traction outside of Canada, so they're just constantly touring just Canada all the time, which there isn't that many venues to do that. I know Sloan's having a tough time with that. Like they'll tour and they'll end up doing like basically 3 shows in the Toronto area. Like they'll one night in Brampton, another night in Oshawa, which they're only about an hour and a half away from each other. Technically they're different venues, but
Yeah, that's the thing about like these bands. They would just tour all the time, and they would tour the entire United States. They'd get in a van and just go out and do it. Sometimes they would use like booking, promoters and stuff, show promoters, but that was kind of up to them to put it out that they were touring and to get the show, and they'd drive all night in the van to get to the next state, and that's kind of that was their ethic. They weren't making money off of any of this stuff. They did it for the love of playing in bands.
Well, in the chat, High Octane Revival appreciates you showing the career suicide. He was just driving by and saw it.
Oh, awesome.
Way to go, Matt Bandy, with the reeling him in.
There you go.
There you go. If you missed the earlier part of the show, Matt Bandy was showing all kinds of Canadian acts.
All Canadian.
All Canadian.
Before we wrap it up, I got a couple of, one statement and two questions from Matt Bandy. So I did listen to Sword.
Okay, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Did you listen to that Age of Winters record?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot how much it's. I was like, God, this sounds a lot like Corrosion and Conformity in some parts. And so that's why I was like, yeah, you're really gonna like that.
So that was good. And then so I follow a bunch of music blogs. One of them recommended this band I never heard of. It's kind of weird because they're sort of a bunch of members from that Caius and Queens of the Stone Age and that the Atomic Bitchwax. You ever hear them?
No,
that's gotta hurt.
Listen to Atomic Bitchwax #2.
Okay.
That was like very it's kind of like Sabbathy. It gets a little crazy towards the end, a little off the rails, but there was some good rock in there.
Okay, looks like it's a 3-piece band.
I don't know. I just listened to it. It was just basically recommended, and then I listened to it.
I just did a quick search there on TP Records, which I listened to quite a few of those bands in the early 2000s. It's kind of that stoner rock type stuff.
Stoner rock, that's right. And
I think that first Sword record might have been released by either TP or Komodo Records, but they're real similar. Never heard of them.
And then one other band that was recommended by the heavy metal overlord, if you will, was a band called Pentagram.
Oh yeah, Pentagram is that was like America. They were tried to be set up as like America's Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
but the Bobby, their lead singer, would just always fuck everything up, and he that was a band that could have been bigger. They were like the ultimate cult band in the United States, at least, and they didn't get the notoriety to way later until bands like Phil Anselmo was a big fan of Pentagram, and like these other heavy metal bands that took influence from them. That's kind of when Pentagram started becoming more known, and they were in the 70s, and then started kind of putting records out into in the 90s and 80s, and just kind of sporadically. And it's a really interesting story behind the band. And there's a documentary about Bobby and he's not a good guy, and his history of substance abuse and trying to get clean and trying to get back into music. I forget the name of the documentary, but it's really, really good. There's a good collection of their 70s stuff that was unearthed later on. It's called Last Days. I think it's called Last Days Here, and there's Last Days Here too. And that's an awesome starting point for that band. It's really, really good stuff. So
the song he had me listen to, I can't remember what the heck it was.
Forever Is My Queen, or Forever My Queen, maybe. That's kind of like the famous early.
Let me see if I can quickly find it. He only wrote the blog a couple days. Relentless.
Okay.
So this song was so the band was formed in 1971, and this was one of the first songs that they wrote, and they didn't record it and publish it until 1985 because, like you were saying, they just couldn't get their act together to get this. But it was really good. That's the only song I listened, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, listen to those. You'll like that. The Last Days Here and Last Days Here too. Those are both on Spotify.
First Days.
I think it's First Days.
The First Days comps. They're talking about it in the comment section.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't pick. I had a chance to pick that record up and didn't, and now it's out of print and it's pricey now. But yeah, you can stream. Those are all on Spotify. But yeah, Pentagram is a good first like American early doom metal. Like I said, it was kind of like their was going to be America's answer to Black Sabbath. Which
it definitely sounds like it. Definitely sounds like it. So, okay, well, those came on my radar this week, and I was wondering if Matt Bandy had heard of them. So
yeah, check out that documentary too about. I don't know the name of it. I saw it a few years ago. It's good though.
Okay, will do.
I listened to some Sword too, by the way.
What'd you think?
I did my homework. I don't remember. It was like a week ago. No, I think it was grooving pretty good, but they had some slow grooves too, right?
Yeah, it's not all fat. Yeah, it's that's the thing about like this, like the stoner stuff. It's a lot of tempo changes, and it's like the Sword is like Corrosion of Conformity, but with like fantasy lyrics essentially.
And then they brought me to another band came up. I threw it on Twitter. I was really grooving to it. Called Acid Moon and the Pregnant Sun. Have you heard of those guys?
No.
Acid Moon and the Pregnant Sun. Yeah, it was a great name. The cover is awesome. Let's see. How do I show it to you?
Acid Moon and the Pregnant Sun.
Share screen, Chrome tab, YouTube, share. Yeah, that's them right there. And it was really good. They're from Israel, rockers from Israel. And this Yes was great. And there's Curtis had a great video there.
Yep.
I actually fell asleep to watching that the other night.
But I wanted to tell you about this channel.
It was really late.
This 666 Mr. Doom.
Mr. Doom. Okay.
He has tons and tons of that kind of music, and like his stuff just pops up constantly on my main screen, and it's all kinds of weird, crazy, doom metal and that kind of stuff is popping up there.
So if he could play that stuff, we should be able to play it. Okay, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Who knows?
It all depends on who owns the rights, right? If it basically, when it gets flagged as for owned by another content creator, they could not do anything, let it go. They can say, nope, shut this channel down, shut this thing down. They can say, I'll just mute the audio, it's okay. So who knows?
Yeah, I'll often get the we own the license, you can play it, but we're taking any kind of monetization for it.
Yep.
That's basically what I get all the time. Or if I try and do like a real commercial song, they're just like, nope, not happening. And don't let you release it. But if we were streaming and pumping the shit out live, I just wonder, is there some kind of bot that automatically catches it and can yank your stream on you immediately?
I don't think so. But who knows? Let's find out. Let's get dangerous.
Hey, this channel it's got to get to 1,000, so you can't get it shut down.
All right.
Did you know when I tried to do my live stream, just chilling with the records there, putting the sleeves in, I just wanted to get my phone out and just stream from the phone, right? Because that would have been super easy. And the microphones on the phone work great. But if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't live stream from your phone.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to pull this webcam down, and then I had to come up with a microphone and all that. So yeah, unless you have 1,000 subscribers, things can be tough.
Like, that's just so anti-small YouTuber. Because you imagine like someone who doesn't have all the cameras and everything, all they have is their phone, and they want to do a YouTube stream from their phone. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah. Now I could have used StreamYard. I could have gone that route, but then that would work against my StreamYard minutes or whatever.
Right.
So it's just, there's all kinds of that. And like, I like the idea of the 1,000 subscriber people. They can put out community message, say, hey, you know what, tomorrow we're doing a live stream. And then that shows up, on your subscribers page, but I can't do that yet. So. Got to get to 1,000, guys. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to get more Bandy. More codes. Anyways, hey, I wanted to give a shout out to our missing compatriots. Chris Roberts wasn't feeling so good, so he had to drop out of today's stream. So hopefully he's feeling better. I wanted to give a shout out to Jake from Polykill Podcast. He recently announced that he's walking away from Polykill Podcast. And so say good luck to him with whatever he's got going. And my thoughts are with him. He's like, I'm not so much into games so much. So, what can you do? And Polykill is very much about games. And I can respect that because, geez, STC Pod pivoted away from video game talk, I think, 13 minutes into our first episode. So,
Yep. We moved away from games too on Fandango. Went from 300 listeners to the power 30.
Best move you ever did.
Well, you know what? If it was, we just wouldn't do it. we do what we want to do, and if people want to listen, it's fine.
Yep, just put it out there. So, with that, again, I thank my my vinyl experts for showing up and helping me out in this episode. Matt Bandy, Kevin, Buried on Mars. Check out his WordPress. He's doing some writing. Lots of writing going on. Puts pictures on there. Not so much
photos on a blog. Imagine that.
Get some Blu-ray unboxing going.
I have a couple done. I just haven't posted them. So out of sheer laziness.
I got to do one. I want to show off my copy of Dawn of the Dead that you do not have. And
I
just
don't.
Me and my friend Curtis have.
Curtis said that was a hard to find Blu-ray.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me. That movie, I mean, that's a staple.
You know what? I remember getting mine, and it was at like Bed Bath and Beyond in a bargain bin
everywhere,
and that was worth like $80.
Wow!
I couldn't believe I fell off my chair when he said that.
What Blu-ray is really expensive for some reason is that movie Airheads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it I think it just had like a limited print run or something like that, or it's music.
I love that movie.
DVD is no problem. You can find that anywhere. But the Blu-ray is, if you find it for cheap, pick it up because you got an expensive Blu-ray.
Good to know.
Well, Lemmy's in that.
Yep.
I'm farting on no snare drum, man. Used to watch that movie all the time.
So with that, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more vinyl stuff. I'll continue through the Beatles box, see what's in there. Retirement stuff for sure. And Kevin will have more stuff. Bandy, hopefully Chris Roberts will join us. And you never know who else will join us on the show. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. More stuff coming. See you next time. Thanks, everyone. See ya. Thanks again.
Bye.